Behind the scenes of government messaging, former crew details production of COVID briefings. As the UK continues to reflect on its handling of the COVID-19 crisis, new behind-the-scenes insights have emerged from former broadcast crew members who worked on Downing Street's televised pandemic briefings. One of the most talked-about revelations involves the production process of these high-stakes sessions, particularly those featuring then-Chancellor Rishi Sunak, who now serves as Prime Minister. While there is no suggestion of misinformation in the content of the briefings, the account from a former crew technician has sparked fresh debate over how the government's communication strategy was carefully planned and presented to the public. According to the technician, many aspects of the briefings, including camera angles, lighting, and the staging of speakers, were coordinated in advance to deliver a composed and reassuring image. These disclosures highlight the ongoing tension between the need for polished, crisis-era communication and the public's expectation of unscripted transparency. Rishi Sunak, who played a key role during the height of the pandemic as Chancellor of the Exchequer, became a regular presence at the podium during televised updates. His briefings often centered on financial aid packages, furlough schemes, and economic recovery plans, all vital to national stability at the time. The former crew member, speaking anonymously to a UK media outlet, described Sunak's appearances as some of the most tightly managed from a production standpoint. The technician claimed that Sunak was always briefed on his camera angles and lighting before going live. He had a calm presence, and the production team ensured that the visuals reinforced that image. The crew's job, according to the insider, was not to script the message, but to ensure the tone and delivery matched the urgency and reassurance expected of a national leader. This included walkthroughs before the live feed, podium adjustments, and lighting calibrations to ensure every frame looked professional. While some critics have expressed concern that this level of production management might distort public perception, others argue it's a necessary part of leadership communication in the modern era. Media strategist Helen Barker explained, "There's a difference between scripting a lie and rehearsing a message. The government needed to communicate with clarity, especially in a time of panic. You can't afford mixed messages, and Rishi Sunak, in particular, was effective because he appeared steady and composed." Still, the optics of staging anything in a public health crisis have made some voters uneasy. With hindsight, some now question whether the messaging during that time was more about image than about full transparency. Following the circulation of the crew members' statements, reactions have been mixed across the political landscape. Supporters of Sunak and his government highlight that rehearsing public addresses is standard practice for leaders around the world. They point to the effectiveness of the furlough scheme, which was introduced during one of Sunak's televised briefings, as evidence that substance mattered just as much as delivery. Critics, however, suggest that the line between managing panic and managing perception was, at times, blurred. Labour MP Angela Rayner said in a recent interview, "People needed clarity, not choreography. While no one expects raw footage from a crisis room, it's important to be honest about how much of what we saw was performance." Meanwhile, Sunak's team has not responded directly to the new claims, though the Prime Minister has previously spoken about the pressure of delivering key updates under immense national and personal strain. In interviews, he has defended his role in navigating the economic fallout of the pandemic and maintaining public confidence through clear and calm communication. Beyond the politics, this conversation taps into a larger issue: how much staging is acceptable in official government communication? According to communications experts, most viewers are unaware that even live press conferences often involve production teams not to script the content, but to ensure delivery is visually consistent and professional. Dr. Samira Patel, a political communications researcher, noted, "What's surprising is not that the briefings were rehearsed, but that people assumed they weren't. It's similar to how news anchors prepare. Lighting, teleprompters, and staging are all normal. The challenge is being transparent about that, especially when public trust is fragile." Indeed, some of the discomfort around the newly revealed production details appears to stem more from perception than from any concrete wrongdoing. As the UK continues its official COVID inquiry and reflects on lessons learned, questions around government communication will remain a key focus. Whether it's Rishi Sunak's composed delivery or the behind-the-scenes practices that supported it, the public is increasingly interested in not just what was said, but how it was presented. For many, the takeaway is clear: in moments of national crisis, presentation matters, but so does honesty about that presentation. This latest insight into the COVID briefings reminds us that communication during a crisis is both an art and a science. Leaders like Rishi Sunak had a responsibility not only to govern but to maintain public confidence. Professional production played a role in that, but it's up to the public, and history, to judge whether it went too far. What do you think? Was the government's approach to pandemic messaging necessary professionalism or overmanaged storytelling? Don't forget like, subscribe, and turn on notifications to stay updated with our in-depth political coverage. Let's keep the conversation going.